Hello, this is Randy Reed with Mortgage Planning Specialist. This is my weekly market update. I hate saying it, everyone, but it sure is a bloodbath out there this week. The stock market lost 2,000 points, and the bond market has also lost 1.7 basis points, which is the equivalent of an increase of a quarter of a point across the board on mortgage interest rates. This even comes after the news that the Fed's banned with some European banks to reduce their short-term interest rates by half of a point. Now, what the Feds were trying to accomplish in all this by working with some European banks and doing this across-the-board reduction was to eliminate the fear of inflation. Typically, when the Feds lower short-term interest rates, it's inflationary fighting. And as you and I both know, when the Feds fight inflation, it actually hurts bonds, which increases interest rates. The other thing that they were trying to accomplish was to create some liquidity in our global markets. And European institutions have had a big problem over the last month and a half of being able to borrow money because their banks haven't been lending to one another. And we've been experiencing that sort of situation for a little over 2 weeks here in America. And the vicious cycle is just continuing. Banks are not lending to one another, and our credit markets are being very, very tight right now. So the saga continues on that front. The other thing that's going on this week, and it's really kind of abnormal, when the stock market typically loses so much ground, when it crashes, investors typically will pull money out of the stock market, put it into bonds, which has been historically a safe haven. However, what we got going on, in my opinion, and this is my theory, foreign investors do not believe in our credit markets today. They are the only ones who have come out and said that the bailout, $700 billion of bailout money, is not enough to make any difference to our credit situation that we got going on. They're having problems borrowing money because their banks won't lend to one another, and they can't meet their short-term needs to stay afloat. So they're pulling out of our stock market completely and out of our bonds, and that's causing both segments to really kind of fall this week. Until this gets corrected, or at least until we see some improvements, when we've got 40 to 60% foreign investors and they're pulling out of our market, it's really hurting us overall as well. So bottom line to all this, right now, I am going to recommend to go ahead and lock in. The damage has been done. It doesn't look like it's going to improve anytime soon. So if you've got borrowers who need to close on a short-term basis here, go ahead and have them lock in if they didn't already do so on Monday. I was able to lock my customers in on Monday, thank goodness, and price protect them. Now, where do we go from here, everyone? We can only control our day-to-day activities. There's some things in this world that we have zero control over. But what we can do, and we can do our part, is just produce. Go out and establish stronger relationships with your business partners and get back to the very basics. I mean, our mentors who did this business long, long time ago, they did business the old-fashioned way, and I think that is what we really need to do, is get back to becoming ambassadors of our industry. Helping those, even though we may not get paid today on it, helping them today is going to probably be something that's going to reward us down the road. So if you have any questions, concerns, thoughts, needs, need help on getting a transaction closed, feel free to call me. I'm still around. Will be for a long, long time to come, everyone. 303-524-9191. Have a great weekend.